Solve 2 sine squared x minus sine x minus 1 is equal to 0 for x being between 0 and 360. So this is a quadratic in sine x. Good idea to write this bit down because it just reminds us what we need to solve it for. So you think of this as x squared minus x minus 1. Now, one way to factorize a quadratic is to look at the product. The product you get by taking that number, 2, times the last number, so 2 times minus 1, which gives you minus 2. And then you look at the sum, which is the number in front of the middle bit, that's going to be minus 1. And there you look for factors, and for the factors you need two numbers whose product is minus 2 and whose sum is minus 1. And the answer for that is minus 2 and 1. Minus 2 times 1 gives you minus 2. Minus 2 plus 1 gives you minus 1. And now you write out the quadratic in the form 2 sine squared. You split this middle term up into minus 2 sine x plus sine x plus 1 sine x. Minus 1 is equal to 0. And now you factorize by what's known as grouping. So you group the first two terms together. By the way, it doesn't matter which way round you write these two things. And you look for the common factor. So there's a common factor of 2 and sine. So you take 2 and sine out, and you're left with a sine minus 1. Just check that for yourselves. Pause the video if necessary. Then you look at the next bit, and there is no common factor, so you put down a 1 in front, and then you write down that thing, but you put it in brackets. So sine x minus 1 is equal to 0. Notice now that this bracket here and this bracket here are the same, and this is what happens when you do this process. Because now you actually have a common factor of sine x minus 1 here and here, which can come out. So you get sine x minus 1, and then you're left with 2 sine x plus 1 is equal to 0. So you've got two things multiplied together which is equal to 0, so you can say either sine minus 1 is equal to 0, which means that sine x is equal to 1. Now whenever sine or cos come out to be 1, minus 1 or 0, it's always best to look at the graph. So you need to know the graph of sine. So you know it goes from minus 1 to 1, and you mark on 0, 90, 180, 270, 360. You should be able to do this from your head. That's the graph of sine x. Make sure you label it. We want to know where it's equal to 1, so it's equal to 1 here, reading down here, and we get the answer of 90. So we get x is equal to 90 from that solution. Or the other part is equal to 0, so plus 2 sine x plus 1 is equal to 0, so it gives 2 sine x is equal to minus 1, and sine x is equal to minus a half. You then do the inverse sine of the positive part of that, and you should know in your head that that is 30. And then if you remember, you draw out South Asian Tennis Club, the 4 quadrants. This tells you where sine's positive, all positive, tangent's positive, and cos is positive. Remember, we go around anti-clockwise around the circle. We want to know where it's negative. So sine is negative in this quadrant and this one. So this is the 3rd and the 4th quadrants. So you draw in your angle, always making your angle with the x-axis. It's very, very important. And now to get the angles, you start here. So you go all the way around, you get 180 plus 30 and 360 minus 30. So that's going to give me 210 or 330 degrees. And then you're writing them out, all the solutions, in ascending order. So including the first bit, you're going to have x is 90, 210 or 330.